Tell me, how many beers do you have now in this brewery?
Oh, wow. We have a lot because we're constantly changing beers.
Okay.
So, I mean, over the years, we've made hundreds of beers. I would say that in constant rotation, we probably have about 40 that are in constant rotation, you know, and that's from IPA to lager to just Belgian style. We do make Belgian style beers that aren't barrel aged, but so we always have various beers that are in constant rotation throughout the year.
This beer is Capa Bright. We pour this on one of our Luger taps to get this nice big head on it. This is just a nice, we call it a coastal style light beer. This is technically not a lager. We actually make this with an ale yeast. We don't have a lot of spot for lagers or a lot of space for lagers. We do make lagers, but we like to have a beer that we can kind of fill that desire to have a nice light beer in the summertime, and this is our answer to that. It's named after the city that we're in, Capitola, and it's a light beer. We don't use Capitola Light, that sounded a little silly, so we called it Capa Bright. This is just a nice, easy drinking summer beer. I think you'd all enjoy it.
You have a club.
We do.
Yeah. Yes. Please state to the people.
We do. So we have, we're in California, which has a lot of wineries. And early on in the brewery, we were looking, one, for a way to raise money, but two, for a way to build community and get our beer really into the hands of the people who wanted to drink it. And so we started a beer club the way that wineries in California and around the world have wine clubs. So that started, actually, this is the 10th anniversary this year of the beer club. We started with only 150 people. And they have become
150 people.
That was the start. Now we have 750.
Oh my
people.
God.
Yeah, 750 people. We want people to be a part of the community, and it's been really fun to see some of the same faces year over year over year. Yeah, again, this goes to the heart of the brewery, right? It's about community. So it's 4 times per year they get the beers. You can either come get them or we will ship them to you. But then we also have a party for the club. Everybody loves a party.
Okay, this beer is Tomorrow Today. This is probably our most popular IPA here at Sante Adairius. It's made with Simcoe, Citra, and Mosaic hops. Some people call those the holy trinity of the hops because they play so nicely together. They really meld well together. This beer, you get sort of a fruity but earthy nose to it. The way that the Citra comes out is really, really nice. It's delicious. This is definitely more of a West Coast style IPA than a hazy IPA. So it's going to have a little bit more bitterness, less sweetness than a hazy IPA, but it's really well balanced. This is just a great, great, great IPA.
We have 2 different barrel programs. One is all for mixed fermentation beers. So those are going to be beers that are brewed with some combination of Brettanomyces, wild yeast, lactobacillus, pediococcus, all kinds of fun things. Again, this comes from our house culture, which we've had now for probably 15 years. Again, it's kind of like a sourdough starter or like a mole, something that you keep and make sure you continue on. It's our house flavor. So we have that program, and then we also have a clean barrel aged program where we make big dark beers aged in like bourbon barrels. Yeah, big strong, stouts and barley wines and things. So because we like to drink those too. What we're most known for are the mixed fermentation beers.
This beer here is called Past Remembered. Past Remembered is a barrel-aged saison with aged hops. So the purpose of this beer was to try to recreate some of the flavors and the qualities that lambic brewers are able to produce through their spontaneous fermentation. They typically use the aged hops in their brewing process. So we brewed this with that intent, and you get, I want to say cheesy, but in a good way. You get that sort of rustic flavor from the hops just by virtue of them being aged. And you get a lot of nice oak character on the nose as well. This is one of my favorite beers. This was a club beer for us last year, and we just made it a regular release this year. It's delicious. Very light bitterness, some citrus. I love this beer. This beer is called Yellow Wall Wit. This is a Belgian style wit beer. So it's made with a Belgian yeast and a lot of wheat. To this beer though, we did something very local. We got some blood oranges from a local farm called Yellow Wall Farm. And we actually pushed the beer into a big vessel that we had cut all of the oranges into, and we let it sit in there before we then pushed it into the fermenter. So this has local blood oranges in it. It's called Yellow Wall Wit. You get the nice Belgian esters from this. You know, Belgian yeast puts off a lot of really nice esters, and you get like the slight pith from the skin of the oranges, and you get a little bit of that orange citrus flavor from it as well. This is a seasonal beer for us. We only have citrus here for a few months out of the year. So we can really only make this beer about once a year when a farmer contacts us and says, hey, we have some fruit for you, do you want to use it? That's one of the really fun places about making beer in this area. So we have a lot of farmers here. And so they will, they'll let us know when they have something that they think that we would enjoy working with. So Yellow Wall Wit.
To finish this beautiful interview, because you are wonderful, please invite people.
So if you're in California, please come and visit us. We'd love to serve you some beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sara, it's muy simple.
Sarah or Rustic Ales. Yeah.